the long U sound has two options. It can say U or just oo. And it will say that long sound, U or oo, if one of the next two letters is another vowel. If not, it will say We've learned that that sound is also the schwa sound. And any vowel can change into a schwa sound in some instances that I'll teach you. For instance, A at the end says So if you hear at the end, you spell it with an A. If you see A at the end, you say it as America, China, Santa, Panda, Nebraska. If you see A at the end, you say You have learned that EW says oo or you, and you've learned that OO says oo. So today we're going to be practicing those things that we've learned so far. All right, now. So this U is going to say oo because there is another vowel in the next one or two spots. It could also technically say U. So the long U sound, U or oo, usually comes out naturally based on the shape of your mouth when it made the sound before it. C is a little bit of a hard one because C can technically say your mouth isn't in any shape, really. It's just the back of your tongue that's making the sound. So it could be Q or it could be Ku, either one. I'm going to choose U, Q right here. And then A at the end says So we have K, U, P, Cupa, Cupa. Okay, go ahead and try yours. Now your T is probably going to force your U to say oo, oo, okay? Okay. So this U is probably going to say oo based on the shape of your mouth when it made that T. And then A at the end is We know that this U is long because of the tap 2 rule. There's a vowel in the next one or two spots. So the sounds are T, oo, P, Tupa, Tupa. It's interesting that both of the consonants are voiceless. They make no vibration. There is no vocal cords being used for the T or the P. The only sound that you actually hear are those vowels. T, oo, P, Tupa. You're only really hearing the U and the A. The others are just pops of air. They should be anyway. That's the correct way to pronounce those sounds. Okay, we have a here because of the next two letters being consonants. And here we have an EW that makes the long U sound. And I'm going to call this as a oo because of this D sound. So this will be oo. So our sounds are D, R, N, D, oo, Der, Dra, Drun, Drund, Drundu, Drundu. Now, let me show you something. What if that word had another R after that second D? Now you can see how this EW, the long U sound, can change based on the shape of your mouth when it made the sound before it. So for this D to this oo, it was do, right? Do, like the dew on the grass. But when you put an R here, now my mouth is in a different shape and that whole, no, it's not, roo. What was I hoping for? Drew. It's still going to be the same, rats. What was I thinking of? I don't know. I'll find another example though to show you that different sound that comes based on the sound before it. All right, let me look at yours. Yours is the same. Go ahead and try yours. I'll be quiet while you work. Now try not to put an R right here. That might be actually a little tempting for your mouth to try. It might be tempting for an R to sneak in that spot. Okay, so this U is going to say because there are two consonants after it. EW says U or oo. In this case, I think it's going to say oo. So our sounds are f, n, d, oo. Fur, fra, frun, frund, frundew, frundew. Yeah? Frundew. All right, they're getting challenging. Look at number 3. Let's go for it. So we know this G is going to make its hard sound, its most common sound. So this U is going to say because of those two consonants after it. O says ooh most of the time. And A at the end always says So our sounds are g, l, s, oo, n, I put only one dot underneath the SS, one dot underneath the OO because we dot sounds, not letters. I'm actually going to divide this one into syllables. So when you have a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, you can divide it between the consonants. So that was V, C, C, V. You can divide it right here. If you have a vowel, consonant, vowel with only one consonant between the vowel, that consonant goes to the end, like this one. Vowel, consonant, vowel. That guy goes to the end. So if I were going to read this word in parts, in syllables, it would be g, l, s, glus. Make sure you get that L in that spot. Glus, glus. Now I'm going to put glus on the shelf. Start with the S. S, oo, sue, sue. Now when I bring these two parts together, those two S sounds are going to combine into one. Glussu, glussu. Now I'm going to put glussu on the shelf. Try that third one. Na. Putting it all together. Glussoona, glussoona. That might make your word a little easier if you can divide it into syllables like that. Go ahead and try it. Okay. All right. So this U is going to say with your jaw just hanging there. Don't drop it anymore. We don't want it to be ah. Okay, just let it hang. And then this OO will say ooh. A at the end will say Same sound as this A and this U say the exact same thing. Just spelled differently because of where they are in the word and the letters that surround it. Don't you just love that you have that knowledge, the vowel placement strategy? You know how to spell sounds based on where they are in the word. You know that if it's a with two consonants after it, it's going to be a U. You know that if it's a at the very end, it's going to be an A. That is brilliant, beautiful knowledge that is now yours to keep forever. So we have all of our sounds being ch, oo, p, Syllable number 1, chum, chum. Syllable number 2, moo, moo. Putting those together, chummoo, chummoo. Only one M sound when you combine them. Last syllable, pa, Chummoopa, Chummoopa. Now I'm dying to know how you did on Chummoopa without me. Would you put a Y or an A in the chat, in the Q&A? Why you got it, A, you almost got it. Wow, That's a lot of Y's. I even got an easy. And don't worry, there's a few A's coming in here too. If you put an A, you're not the only one. There's several A's also. But here's what I'm wondering. Nice. Here's what I'm wondering. When you first saw this big monster, did it seem a little monstrous? Did it seem like, did it seem a little intimidating when you just glanced at it? But then when you started dissecting it, when you started applying your knowledge to attack that word with confidence and with knowledge, then did it get to seem a little doable? Like, maybe I can do this? That is what we're going for. Oh, that's wonderful. Clement says it was, I can do this. Ah, I love that. I can do this. That is what we're going for. Yes, yes. Okay, number 4. Here we have a nice. Here we have a OO that I know is going to say ooh. And I know that it's going to say ooh because that SH. My mouth is already in that pucker shape. It's already shh. So it's not going to back up and make that whole U sound. It's not going to say sh U. That's too much work for my mouth. It's going to come out naturally as shoe. So this long U sound is going to be the second option, just the ooh sound. Now this EW can say either one. It can say you or ooh. And since we don't get, especially after a P it can say either one. Since we don't get to say the whole U sound as often as ooh, and since this P can be either one, let's make this one say you. So we have sh, ooh, p, you, shoe, shoon, shoonp, shoonpew, shoonpew. All right, go ahead and try yours. Same with your L. Your L is not going to allow your U to say you. It's not going to be you. It's going to be just ooh, clue. Oh, I gave you a big juicy hint right there. And your C is going to make its hard sound and say k, right? Always until we have that class, which is finally coming up soon. All right, so this OO is going to say ooh. That's its most common sound. It can also say but not quite as often. EW will say U after a P most of the time. So we have k, ooh, p, U. Cool, clue, clume, cloomp, cloompew, Cloompew. If you didn't get it, I bet you got close. I bet you got close on that one. Let me know, Y or A? Did you get Y? Yes, you got it, or A almost on Cloompew. Good. Good. Nice. Thank you. Okay, let's look down for our last couple minutes here and see if there's any extra practice that you want me to do with you before I send you off on your own to try those. Number 6, you got it. Let me bring that one over here. Okay, I'm going to have you do number 6 on your own, and then I'm going to come back after and make sure that we all did it the same way. Go ahead. Okay, so this U is going to say ooh. This U will say because of those 2 consonants after it. A at the end says So our sounds are sh, ooh, t, d, Shutumdra. It's that M that's the tricky one. Make sure your lips are closed. Shutumdra. Shutumdra. That one's not easy. All right, I got a request for number 10 for our last 30 seconds here. It might look intimidating, but watch what happens when you just know how to do it. You just know how to do it. Then the fear just flies away. So we have a O saying ooh here. Our U says here. And our EW says ooh or you. After our R, it's probably going to say ooh. Do you want to try it? Go ahead. Grab the R. That's going to be the tricky part right there. Okay, so we have gul, glue, gloom, glooma, gloomup, gloomupper, gloomupprew, gloomupprew, gloomupprew. How is that one? Let me know in the chat. How is that one? Gloomupprew. How did you do on that? Nice. Amazing. Yeah, for sure. That one's a hard one. You are amazing. That one was a doozy. But after we did it seem doable? Yeah. So you have to just tell your subconscious, you know what, subconscious? What? Just stop for a minute. You just go sit over there. I know how to do this. Just put your fear over there in timeout. Me and my knowledge, we're going to handle this just fine, right? Fear is going to be a thing of the past once all this knowledge just starts to take over and you start to settle with this. Yeah, I can do this. I believe in you, my friends. You're amazing. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.